All right, welcome to week 5. This week we are straying away from the text to look at a subject that the text doesn't really discuss in any real detail, in which I thought we would benefit from stopping and taking a little bit of time to look at, and that is presidential transitions. Presidential transitions are a time of unique vulnerability for the nation because you have what is in essence a peaceful transference of power from one president to the next. Now, of course, there's a difference between friendly takeovers and hostile takeovers. When George Herbert Walker Bush was taking over for Ronald Reagan, there was a presumption of continuity. That is not present when you have parties taking over for for presidents from the other party. There is a presumption that there's a certain amount of tension that's involved there. So why are presidential transitions important? What are the key elements? What are the key requirements for a smooth presidential transition? These are the kinds of things we're going to talk about. And of course, kind of overlaying all that, you have what was essentially the disaster that was the Trump transition, where basically Barack Obama did a lot of the stuff that needed to be done in order to ensure a smooth transition, and really there wasn't a lot done on the Trump administration's side to really get prepared to go in, which suggests, a big part of the reason why it was a chaotic transition was that Trump didn't put the things in place needed, the planning in place to do the kinds of appointments that have to be done in order to get an administration stood up and to be able to hit the ground running. And again, we can talk about that. I'm not trying to pick on Trump in particular, but I think it is a consensus that Trump's transition was a poor one. And that most of the blame for that, most of the responsibility for that really lies with the incoming transition, the incoming team rather than with the outgoing team, which hasn't always been the case. And we can talk about that at length over the course of the week. Only 2 items for this week that are graded, the forum and the quiz. So let's make sure there is a study guide up for this reading. Hopefully it's sufficiently voluminous and careful that you guys can look at this stuff and master it for the quiz, and then of course have enough of a knowledge base to be able to discuss just how important transitions are. So let's have a good week of discussion.